Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into how big data is really starting to change things in education.
Yeah, it's becoming quite central.
We've got various sources covering different angles, and well, our aim here is to get a handle on the main ways it's used, its potential impact on learning, and the important things to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
So let's start right there. What exactly are we talking about with educational big data? Where's it all coming from?
Okay, so simply put, it's just the huge volume of digital information that gets generated. Think students, teachers, the schools themselves.
Like what kind of info?
Oh, everything from, grades, attendance, sure, but also online learning activity, interactions on platforms, even data from educational apps kids might use.
Right, the digital footprint.
Exactly. And it's collected through all those digital tools that are pretty much standard now. Learning management systems, student databases, things like that.
Okay, so we have all this data. What's the core idea? How does it actually help students learn better?
Well, the big promise is personalization, moving away from teaching everyone the same way at the same time.
Tailoring it more.
Precisely. For example, classroom analytics. Teachers can get almost instant feedback on which concepts are clicking and which ones students are maybe struggling with.
So they can adjust on the fly.
Yeah, adapt their teaching right then and there to meet those specific needs. It's much more dynamic.
That makes a lot of sense, understanding those learning patterns.
Yeah.
And I gather this data can also help predict who might need some extra help.
Yes, absolutely. That's predictive analytics. By looking at past performance, current indicators like engagement levels, you can often identify students who might be at risk of falling behind.
Ah, okay. So spotting potential issues earlier.
Exactly. And that lets schools step in much sooner with, targeted support, extra resources, whatever might help. It's about preventing bigger struggles later on.
Now, collecting and using all this student data, it does raise some, well, ethical questions, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's a huge consideration. Privacy, security, how the data is interpreted and used, it's critical to get that right.
And just technically, how do schools even manage this sheer amount of information? Storing it, securing it?
It's a big job. You need robust systems, often cloud-based storage nowadays, and you need people with the right skills to manage it all, keep it secure.
Data protection must be key.
Absolutely. Plus, clear rules, data governance frameworks about who can access what and for what purpose. It needs careful handling.
It's interesting. It seems it's not just about the students directly. I read that big data is also being used to look at teacher effectiveness. How does that work?
Yeah, that's another application. The idea is to analyze data points related to, say, student progress in a particular class or engagement metrics to get some insight into teaching impact.
That sounds potentially tricky, though.
It is. It's a really complex area. It's vital that if you do that, the evaluations are fair and, actually account for all the different factors that affect how students do. It's not just the teacher.
Right. Context matters. So what kinds of tools are we talking about for actually digging into this data? It's not just Excel spreadsheets, I imagine.
Definitely not. We're talking more sophisticated stuff, statistical software packages, data mining techniques to uncover hidden patterns you wouldn't normally see.
Machine learning, too.
Yes, machine learning is a big one. Algorithms that can learn from the data automatically, and also data visualization tools, which are crucial for making all this complex information understandable for teachers or administrators.
So there's clearly a lot of potential here,
Yeah.
but it also sounds like there are some real practical hurdles for schools trying to actually use big data well.
Oh, absolutely. Major challenges. There's the cost, for one, the technology itself, training staff to use it effectively,
Okay.
ensuring data security, like we mentioned.
And maybe just getting people comfortable with it.
That too.
Yeah.
Building a culture where data is seen as a tool for support and improvement, not just for, judgment or ranking, that's a big shift.
Okay, so summing up, big data is touching quite a few key areas in education. How students actually learn, the support systems around them, how teachers are potentially evaluated, and then all the tech and management stuff underneath.
Exactly. It's weaving itself into the fabric of education, really. It brings powerful new possibilities, but also, significant practical and ethical things to grapple with.
It really does. Which leads us to a final thought for you, our listener. When you consider all these different applications and the challenges involved, learning, support, evaluation, what do you personally see as the biggest opportunity that big data offers for the future of education? Or maybe, what's the most significant risk or practical challenge we need to navigate carefully? Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.